Hello there, fans and frenemies. Nate Draikinator here, and back with the speed paint. I'm going to try something a little bit new. I'm actually recording the audio in advance. Haha, because I have time. So, I actually don't know what video this audio is going to be over. And we'll see how that goes. But I know that people like my speed paint videos where I talk more than the ones where I just use music. So we're just going to do that, and we're going to see how it goes. And I would love it if you would pop down into the description into the comments and, let me know how you feel. Do you want me to go back to music? Do you want these to be more? Because I'm kind of just like, you know what? I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to talk, and we're going to talk, and it's going to be super casual. But I've done a lot more scripted videos in the past, but sometimes I feel like they're very stiff. And I don't know why my brain hates them. But, just like let me know what you like. Because I would like to deliver the content that people would like to engage with. Yeah. So anyway, today what I wanted to ramble about was Pokemon Go. And I know that's going to be like a crazy thing to be talking about in like 2022. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are like, Pokemon Go still exists. Yes, it does. As some of you might remember, I like shortly before I took my hiatus from YouTube, I'd actually moved, and my new apartment is right on a Pokestop, which rules. So I can now get just like Pokeballs all day. So I can actually like play the game, considering I'm in sort of eternal lockdown like everyone. And so I've been doing that like a lot lately, and I got an old friend back into it, so we both just been sort of pogoing like crazy. I actually started doing it because I finally played Sword and Shield. I know, like back in December. So I'm a little late to the party there, but after I finished it, I got Pokemon Home, and I moved up all my Pokemon from old games, and wow, boy, oh boy. I I'm a bit of a hoarder. I definitely haven't mentioned this before, but I've been playing Pokemon since second generation as a kid. I mean, I am earlier than that, I guess. I guess I played Yellow first, so like I've been playing Pokemon since I was a very small child, and I'm a bit of a hoarder, and I'm incredibly sentimental. So since Generation 3, because you can't transfer from Generation 2 to Generation 3, I have kept all of my Pokemon. So, when I got Generation 4 games, I moved up all my Pokemon from Gen 3 to... I think I actually waited until Gen 5 because it was easier. So I moved all my Pokemon up, and then I moved them up again, and I moved them up after Black and White. I moved them up to Pokemon Bank, and then, they actually sat there for 10 years. I didn't actually realize that I had Pokemon Bank. I forgot that I had Pokemon Bank. So when I went in recently and was like, oh, now that I got Swish, I'll get Pokemon Home and move up all my Pokemon. I moved 750 Pokemon from Pokemon Bank that I had completely forgotten that I owned. So that was fun. And there are legitimately Pokemon in there from like 2003. So I do have like a 19-year-old manectric in there, which is, I'm sure that there is someone listening to this right now who is younger than some of my Pokemon, which is kind of astounding and kind of hilarious, at the same time. So I had all of those, and I moved them all up. And once I'd moved up all my Pokemon, because in high school, when I was in high school, it was a Black and White had come out, and Soul Silver and Heart Gold, and those were the games that I had worked on completing my Pokedex for, and I'd completed it in Soul Silver, and I was pretty close in White before I got distracted with like graduating high school and stuff, and then I didn't finish. But so I had kind of a lot of Pokemon when I transferred them all over. Like I basically, like, between my what I'd caught in Swish and what I'd caught just from Bank, I already had like 650 Pokemon like in my Pokemon Home like Pokedex, and I was like, oh wow, so I only need like a couple of more to finish my Pokedex like completely. So I decided, first I was like, oh, I'll just finish my Pokedex, and then I got a little weirder, and I was like, oh well, you know what, I'll do a living dex, which is when you have like one of every Pokemon. So instead of just like getting a Caterpie and then evolving it to a Butterfree to get them all logged, you have a Caterpie, a Metapod, and a Butterfree separately. So I started doing that, and then I was like, oh, well, what if I get all the alternate forms? Like, Sawsbuck has the 4 different seasons, and Deerling has the 4 different seasons. So I did that. And then I was like, you know what? I've already got most of the forms. And some of those are gendered. Why don't I just get all the gendered forms? Like Pikachu just has like a slightly different tail. So all in all, like when I clear out all forms of every Pokemon, it's about 1,200 Pokemon. And I actually finished my Pokedex recently, but my living dex is I only need 11 more to finish it completely. And most of the ones I have left are mythicals. So I'm having a great time. I'm actually very quite proud of what I've done. But yeah, so I started. I got Pokemon Go back on my phone because I was like, oh, I bet I can get some of those Pokemon that I'm missing through Go. I bet I have some that I can transfer up, especially some of the shinies that I have on there that I want to get into Pokemon Home. So I did that, and then I just kept playing Pokemon Go again, and I have been having way more fun than I probably can justify having with Pokemon Go in 2022, considering, again, we are on lockdown. There's like one gym like close enough to my home that I can like walk there like regularly, and then there's another one where if I feel like going for like a walk I can get to. And then there's like a couple if I feel like going on a little bit of a drive, which is something that I like to do because it's like nice to get out of the house. So I'll just drive like a quarter mile down the road and like steal 3 gyms and then come home. It's just, it's something to do, I guess, in 2022. But I have been, it is a wild game. It is a wild game. I cannot believe that they have not introduced like trading over a distance yet. It is astounding to me. Like when you're best friends with someone, you can battle them over any distance. So like I can battle my friend in Australia, but I can't trade Pokemon with him, which is really annoying because like they have regionals and like they just had a Flabébé event, and like we have the yellow one in the United States, which sucks. That's like the worst color of Flabébé. And in Australia, they got the blue one, and I'm furious. I want the blue one. The blue one's the best, but I can't get it from him because you can't trade over a distance, which sucks. And it's like people spoof, like they'll do stuff to their phone. It's really complicated, so I'm not doing that. I'm not messing with that. But people will spoof, and they'll just change their location to your location to trade with you, and like since that's like. I mean, it's too hard for me, but it's like people who like do Pogo like a lot, like it's really easy for them. So the fact that like it's such a thing that is happening constantly with like hardcore Pogo players, it's like, why don't you just make this a thing that you can legally do? Like, why not make this a feature? It's ridiculous. I can't even fathom why they haven't introduced that. It's honestly so annoying. And also kind of weird that you can't trade mythicals. Like, I get why you can't trade mythicals when they're all event Pokemon, but you can get mythicals in raids in this game. So, like, I mean, at least I should be able to trade those. Like, if I go into a raid with my friend and we both are after, Genesect or Deoxys, and I catch one and he doesn't, I can't trade mine to his. Like, oh, I got 2 of them and you didn't get any. I can't give it one. That's weird. It's weird. I don't get it. The Johto Tour event is, at the time I'm recording this, is like not happened yet, but it's coming up very soon. And I was like watching it really carefully. Like, it's $12. Do I want to pay $12 for like a 1-day mobile game event? Like, there's a lot of shinies you can get, which is great. They're releasing all of the shiny Pokemon that are in Johto. And Johto is my favorite region, if you did not know, because I'm a big sentimental, nostalgic jerk. And I love Johto because that's what I grew up with as a child. So I was like, I'm really excited about all those shinies, and that's really cool. Like, I would like to get especially a shiny unknown, because I've never owned a shiny unknown, and that would be really cool. But there's just like the Kanto tour last year, you could get a shiny Mew, which is like awesome. And this year they didn't have anything really that I felt was too special. Like, you can get a Celebi, but I already have the research task to get a Celebi anyway. and I missed the shiny Celebi event. So, you know, I'd kill a man for a shiny Celebi because that's my favorite Pokemon, but I can't have one because you can't trade mythicals. And you can't get one in this event either. So, like, I'm just kind of out of luck. And there was just nothing like I really wanted. Like, you can get a Shadow, Lugia, and Ho-Oh, but apparently those have been available before. These are better ones than the last ones or something, but, like, I really wish that they had just, like you could just do an easy recolor of these models and have the XD Gale of Darkness Shadow Lugia, and then you could drop a fresh new design for Shadow Ho-Oh too, and absolutely blow everyone away. Like, I would, no joke, drop $12 right this second if they drop Shadow Lugia and Shadow Ho-Oh into the game. I would be like, all over that, dude. I would be all over that. So I was like majorly disappointed that they did not do it, especially when the lore would really support it. So, bleh, massively disappointed in that. Yeah, I'm Pokemon. I guess I don't talk about Pokemon that much, but if you did not know, I'm a huge Pokemon nerd. I always have been. Back in high. One last thing before I wanna finish up this Pokemon ramble video. That wasn't even about Pokemon Go. It was just about Pokemon, I guess. Is when I was in high school, I was a horrible gremlin that spent too much time trolling 4chan when Pokemon games were coming out because I wanted to see all the new leaks before anybody else did. So I'd hunt around 2chan, which was Japanese 4chan, and see most of the screenshots were obviously fake, but 2chan had less fake stuff than 4chan, and they would have it earlier. And like before the game came out in Japan, every Pokemon game I think has leaked before it actually came out. Like I think every single one has leaked at some point. I was all over it. I was hunting. So I did manage to get a copy of black version. I think it was black. I'm like 99% sure it was black, not white, that leaked. And I got a copy of black 2 days before it dropped in Japan, which is amazing. It had like a copy protection thing, so you couldn't actually gain experience, but if you were using an emulator, you could just, create rare candy. So there were people like posting guides like, I can't read this because it was the Japanese version, and the English version wouldn't come out for months. So I was like, I have no idea what Black and White is about, but I have already beaten it, and it hasn't even come out in Japan yet. And that was the kind of like Pokemon nerd that I have been my whole horrible gremlin life. And no, I have not played Pokemon Arceus Legends yet, so I'm doing great. Okay, that's about it for today. See you next time.